What's up, gang? It's Deltia from DeltiasGaming.com, here to bring you the Yoloknight, a quick build that I used today while streaming, soloing Dragonstar Arena all the way to Stage 5. If you want to look at soloing Dragonstar Arena and playing a strong Dragonknight by yourself, stay tuned for this build. Short, sweet, and to the point. Let's get started. On Inferno Nugget, yes, the dumber Dragonknight extraordinaire. Had some success with this build in Dragonstar Arena solo, wanted to share it with you. So this game and this build uses a lot of high-end parts, pieces to be successful. You don't have to do this, but if you're really wanting a strong solo type play, this is kind of my PvP setup. So when I do PvP builds, they're generally based on survival, lasting a long time. Not burst, not huge AoE, just surviving, because I'm always YOLOing in the front. That's why I call it Yoloknight. So I want to show you my gear setup first, and then we're going to talk about skills. Gear is the Stormknight. Stormknight is really cool 4-piece set that gives you spell resistance and a lot of spell damage. So if you're going to solo something or whatnot, you need to kill it fast. So the whole premise of this build is to be able to do damage, a lot of it, while sustaining your resources. So you could go something different here. Elfbane is probably better. I just don't have the cash to get it, so I got Stormknight instead, or the AP. Stormknight just drops, and Elfbane is a rare AP bag thing. So if I could, I'd probably go 5-piece Elfbane. Since I can't, I don't worry about it. Next thing is the Engine Guardian. You want Divines on both pieces, your head and your shoulders. Don't have it yet, but this drops in Darkshade Cavern Veteran mode. I like this is superior resource management. I'm going to tell you some tricks on how to use it, but I really recommend this, especially for solo players. I mean, I just survived for so long with this thing. Really recommend that. And then for the jewelry, I did Stormknight here, reduced magic cost, and then 2 pieces of Footman. Now, I probably would do 2 pieces of Citadel's Light or 2 pieces of Warlock if I had V12, or even maybe the Healer. But the reduced block cost is very important. The Enchants, that's super important. That's what's going to keep you in the fight much longer, is being able to block, basically block cast the entire time. So, do a 2-piece that gives you maybe resources back, even stamina or something, but enchant it the right way. And then on the weapons and shields, I do the Bubble Nirnhone for that spell penetration. Though if you're strictly doing PvE, you could do Sharpen or Precise. I do double sword and board. So, summary, Torx Pack for some spell power, Stormknight or Elfbane, Engine Guardian. Now, this isn't perfect setup, so I have some room for improvement. But so far, it's working out pretty good. All right. So with that, I have a lot of consumables. If you saw the stream today, I burnt through probably 200 or 300 tripods. So you really need a lot of those. I also bring a couple different food types with me. I do the Bistat food, Tri-Stat food, and then also Tri-Stat drinks. What determines if I use this is how hard the bosses are hitting. I do all my stats into magic. And even with that, I hit 20,000 health. So that's a bit low. But if you have the Emperor buffs, then you're going to have way more health. I just don't have the Citadel buffs right now. So that's where I go with that. You could go right around 25,000 health, but the extra magic really helps doing damage. So once again, if you're getting one-shotted because you're a vampire, which we're going to talk about vampire, go for more health. If you're not, go for the drinks for sustain. Atronach Mundus Stone, went back to it. It's just too powerful with my magic and recovery. I really like it. I'm doing 5 heavy, 2 light. So the reason being, I really like heavy for the mitigation high-end content. And then light for the recovery and magic and casting spells. So my damage comes from spells, spell damage. It makes sense to throw in a couple pieces of light. All right. Skills to pay the bills. So I changed a lot of different skills in and out depending on what worked best. But ultimately, this is what I found the best. Burning Embers, it's a slash, it's a dot. It does tons of damage and gives you a monster heal basically after 11 seconds. So you're going to keep that up on the target you need to burn down. Usually it's a caster or some high damage producing target. Next up is good old Flame Lash. There's a bunch of different combos that I use with Flame Lash. This is the one that heals you. It's not Molten Web. I like this way, way better in PvP or soloing. So depending on what you want to do in the future, if you want to do just PvP, keep Molten Whip. But if you're going to do a combination, I like Flame Lash. And then, of course, Talons. So now the trick with Flame Lash is if they're immobilized, stunned, or whatnot, you get a free proc. So really what you're doing is using Talons to basically proc that free proc, and then just getting a lot of self-heals. Plus the self-heals will bring Ember. You can see where I'm going with this. A lot of self-heals. Weapon. Sword and Board. I took defensive stance. The reason I took defensive stance is generally I don't need to reflect more than one projectile at a time. I really only need to perfect one. And this gives me increased block mitigation and reduced cost. So even having my bar, this is my main bar I stick with. Really like that. And I'm going to show you some tricks with it here real quick. And Green Dragon's Blood. Yeah, give me that major fortitude, endurance. So stamina, health recovery, can't beat it. And then, of course, good old Dragon Standard of Might. That's the front bar and mainly what I stay on. So another reason I use good old defensive stance is to proc my Engine Guardian. So a lot of times in these really tough solo fights, I just look at my resource bar. And so if I'm out of magic, I have a way to dump stamina and get an Engine Guardian to proc. If we look at Engine Guardian, it's like, what, 6% chance? A 10% chance. So if I have tons and tons of stamina or tons and tons of magicka, what I do is just cast abilities over and over and over to proc that little guy, the little drummer guy. Of course, doing in a video, it's never going to proc. Use a potion. Come on. Come on. There you go. Thank you. So hypothetically, you would do that until you get a proc, and it would give you something that's very, very useful for you. So the reason I'm using it is I don't have to have a target to hit it. So I can be 40 meters away and use this. Whereas my back bar, I have Heroic Slash, I have to be up on their face. So if it's starting the match and I just have some extra stamina to burn, boom, proc it. Now I have so much stamina I can dodge roll to save myself. I am not losing stamina. Once it's down, maybe use some magic spells to proc it. Engine Guardian is the key to this build. Okay. Back bar is a really underrated ability I don't think Dragoknights use effectively. Shattering Rocks. So what this does is it basically mezzes the target for a very long time. When I say mezz is, you basically can't damage them over, 2,000 magic damage or so. So you have to basically leave this target alone. So like in round 2, what I do with this is Shattering Rock the archer, the most threatening target, and then just don't hit him. Then I AoE down a bunch of the other mobs. By the time it comes back up, that target can be single targeted and burnt down now. Shattering Rock is amazing. Guess what else Shattering Rock does? Mobilizes and stuns enemies. You can go Shattering Rock into a double Flame Lash for free. Huge, huge effective ability. Also, when Shattering Rock pops, it causes nearby enemies to be set off balance, thus giving you tons of Flame Lash procs and doing AoE damage. It's really underutilized ability. Structured Entropy on my back bar. The reason I have it here is to get that extra spell damage. So to give you an idea of this gear's setup and potential with, oh, of course, I used the wrong potion. But right now I'm at 1651. I can get up to 2k if I have the PvP bonuses in that up. And 2k spell damage with 25,000 magic for a tank is not bad. Okay, so Igneous Shield. Igneous Shield is a damage buff. The real reason I use Igneous Shields is Mountain's Blessing, to get back stamina and ultimate. So Helping Hands and Mountain's Blessing. Every 6 seconds, I can get some magic back, and I can get some stamina back by using this. So I have an oh crap, oh my god, I'm about to die, I need stamina button. And that really comes in handy. It also proc Engine Guardian, because it doesn't need something to cast and doesn't need a target. Another ultimate Dragonknight combo that I don't think a lot of people use is Igneous Shields into a Draw Essence. Draw Essence heals you. It's basically like a free AoE damage ability. The problem with Draw Essence is it goes in, sucks in, and then it blows out. But it takes a few seconds, so you can't just keep spamming it. You have to let it go for a while. But it's almost like a free ability. So if you hit Igneous Shields, increases your healing by 30%, and then do a Draw Essence, it's almost like a heal to full. So that's how you use that combo. Next ability, Heroic Slash. Heroic Slash is the bread and butter of my Dragonknight builds usually, because you want to generate as much ultimate as you can, and you can generate ultimate by blocking and also using this. Why is ultimate so important for Dragonknight? You guys have heard me say it a million different times. Battle Roar. Battle Roar is our bread and butter for resource regeneration. You know, Templars have Repentance, Sorks have their little channel, Nightblades have a tons of passives, and Leeching Strikes or Siphoning Strikes. Dragoknights have Battle Roar. So to get resources back in an oh crap moment, we have to use ultimates. Speaking of ultimates, that's why I have Bat, Devouring Swarm on my back bar. It's low cost, basically God mode for 5 seconds. Doesn't last very long, but it's going to heal you and siphon off a lot of damage and do good AoE damage. So with our big 250 ultimate cost, Standard of Might, obviously you're going to use this in an AoE situation or trying to nuke down a boss. But this is like, oh crap, I'm about to die, I have 158 ultimate. Click. You're back up, have a decent amount of resources, and you can survive. So that's kind of how I balance it. So to give you an idea, generally what I run, I do health recovery, magic, and stamina. I like the health recovery because I am a vampire, so I have basically none. And yes, I have 15,000 health, but it's actually quite a bit. You will get one shot once in a while, but it works. And if you have the Cyrodiil bonuses, you're going to be a lot better off. But 13,000, 1,100 with the Engine Guardian is not bad for resources. And so that's what I use. I also have the Medicinal Use passive from Alchemy. You really, really want to think about using that. Medicinal Use. Potions effects last longer, 30% longer. Why is that useful? Even using a tripod here. When I say tripod, I mean 3 different stats. So, using a tripod grants Major Fortitude, which increases your health regeneration by 20%, magic regeneration, and stamina. So, Green Dragon's Blood will do health and stamina, but even using a tripod, you're going to get that magic regeneration that lasts almost until it's done. So, watch what happens. Where's my potions? Remember, our magic recovery is at 1,300? Now it's almost at 1,500 permanently. So yes, tripods are very expensive, but if you want to play the uber baduber Dragonknight, you have to suck them down. So, does that make sense, Tommy? I know this is pretty complicated, double sword and board, it's hard, but I got through round 5. Now I do need to experiment with different gear. Probably doing a Footman's Spectre combo, Footman's Magnus, something like that I think might do better results. Or Warlock, Footman's, or not Warlock, Hissbark, and then 2-piece Engine Guardian. You have to have the Engine Guardian. It's just that powerful. And these skills produce the best results. Though, if you watch the full 2.5 hours, I switch abilities in and out constantly. Because some arenas, some waves are just going to change what you need to do. Some are going to have more AoE, some are going to need more reflex. Some are stam heavy, some are DPS heavy. Some are single target heavy, some are not. I hate this guy. You little bata master. Anyways, that's just a quick build. I wanted to give you guys a rundown. Some people were asking for it in the stream. If you want to see more of this in gameplay, I'm going to link in the description. You can go check the Twitter feed out for 2.5 hours of gameplay. I don't want to bore you guys with that. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll have more stuff coming out next week. And something interesting, I think my Templar will actually do this better. I think my Templar is the ultimate solo machine. So I have to get that to VR14 to prove it. So the standard is level 5 normal DSA. What can I get on my Templar? And also, I have another little surprise, something that's coming if you want to support me. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for that. Well, part of being partnered with Twitch is the opportunity to make Twitch-specific t-shirts and sell them with no cost to me up front. So I'm going to be making some t-shirts similar to this on my Twitch page, twitch.tv Deltia's Gaming. So if you want to go the extra mile and support me and have a cool t-shirt, think about ordering these. Thanks for watching.